Welcome, everybody. Thank you for everybody who has decided to attend this and take time out of your very busy days to watch and learn more about us over here at Fortress Power and Fortune Energy. So just for a quick introduction, my name is Jake Whitney. I am the Senior Sales Manager for Fortress Power. Been with the company for over 3 years now. Before Fortress Power, I was doing solar sales and installations for 3 years before that. So part of the presentation is going to be emphasis on the product, tech support service, and emphasis on how we can best service you. Understand that you guys are contractors, aren't in the ground. I think I can hear myself in the background of somebody as well. Of one of either Jack or Helen. So for those who are coming from Fortune Energy, thank you. So Fortune Energy is absolute fantastic distribution partners of Fortress Power. Fortune Energy is all over the nation, multiple locations for distribution. They've been in business for 15 years plus. The one thing that here at Fortress that we absolutely appreciate about Fortune Energy is that extra level of service they provide for contractors, with not just fulfillment of product, but also assistance of engineering services and going that extra mile to make sure that everybody's taken care of. So we are very grateful to be working with them in this partnership and for them to be carrying and selling and providing Fortress Power products and services to everybody here and anybody interested. So Fortress Power. So we have been in business for 10 years ourselves. We were founded in 2016. What we are renowned for is, one, I would say, extremely robust product, hardware, software, support on the back end, regardless if that's tech support, even co-marketing strategy. We can do projects that scale anywhere from the smallest system that is an off-grid cabin to anything as large as a 5-megawatt facility. Now, to give you a scope of our scale of a company, our headquarters is in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. We have an office there. That is one where our main tech support crew is based out of. We also have an office and location in Mexico, a location in Puerto Rico. And also we have expanded to other countries as well, including Canada, Jamaica, and other countries in the making. We are well recognized as the industry leaders for lithium battery systems when it comes to whole home backup, off-grid, anything as large to C&I applications. We are associated on multiple VPP programs too. And the applications I refer to is as simple as a home, RV, farms, warehouses. Anything as simplistic or complicated, we can achieve it with all our products and software. We're going to get right into our residential packages, more so of the product offerings, with some emphasis on some specific products that are by far the most popular ones. So when it comes to residential solar, there's obviously there's two key components to make a full battery storage system function. One is an inverter, and then next is battery. At Fortress Power, we manufacture everything. So we are not just a manufacturing company, we are a full solutions company. So we make our own hybrid 48-volt inverters that can range as small as a 6.5 to 16 kilowatt output. Along with that too, then we also manufacture our own batteries as small as a 5.4, and again, commercially can be as large as megawatts. But when it comes to residential, we have quite the scalability and options. Now, the reason why we do this is not every residential system, regardless if it's grid tied or off grid, is created equal and or the same when it comes to how much storage they need and output of power. So for batteries, we can make one as small as the eFlex 5.4, which is also scalable. The next one up is going to be called the eForce, which is a 9.6 kilowatt battery module, which can be scaled as well. And then lastly is the eBoost, which is a 16 kilowatt battery system, which also can be scaled. In today's presentation, for the sake of purpose of time an emphasis on specific products that seem to be the most favorable and by far the most easiest for installation, we are going to be focusing on the eBoost as a battery for today. If anybody here in this webinar has questions on the other two batteries, please reach out to your rep at Fortune Energy or at Fortress Power. We can do a joint meeting one-on-one, and we can do more trainings on those products. What is the eBoost? The eBoost is a fully built indoor and outdoor rated 16 kilowatt battery system. It comes in two components. The top part is called the E-Way. The bottom part is literally the battery. The nice thing off the start of this battery is it already comes to you built and assembled. So you don't have to string wiring inside this battery cabinet. We as the manufacturer already do that because it saves you time as the contractor installer and saves you labor hours, therefore more profitability to you as the installer, to where you can easily take it out of the crate, put it into the place of installation, hardwire, connect the conduit to the inverter, done. Now, the eBoost does have some very unique features, one of which, like I said, it is indoor and outdoor rated. You want a battery that can be that way, most likely to this current date, that allows you the flexibility of the install. There is a built-in heater inside of this battery. That heater kicks on at 30 degrees Fahrenheit. That is 30 degrees Fahrenheit inside the battery cabinet, not exterior temperature, and can go low as the -4 degrees Fahrenheit. Can still operate lower, but of course, cold temperatures does affect the charge and discharge capacity of any battery. Next, this battery already has built-in wheels inside of it because not every install requires it to be lifted and wall mounted. So if it's as easy as rolling on a cement pad or putting in a garage, you literally just have to take this battery out of the crate, put it on the ground, and roll it in place. It eliminates so much headache and physical strain to install the battery if needed. Now, this top part, the E-Way, simply actually just plugs on top of the battery, just like an Anderson plug. That's simple. And the E-Way allows both the AC and DC conductors to be run through a single enclosure. So you don't need a separate wireway. A lot of sites that I've seen, because I do go to contractor sites when they're installing systems, is that sometimes you need to buy what's phrased as a wire gutter, wire trench, wire box for conduit wiring. Now, these things cost extra money, cost extra time for the cutouts to fit the wiring inside. So what we decided was to make a product with the battery that actually can act as that, so you don't need to purchase that extra hardware. And then on top of that, with this system, you can actually scale it up to 384 kilowatt hours, residential and commercial. Now, I'd be shocked if there's a residential system that needs that many, but if it does, it is more than capable of doing so. Now, a little emphasis. This is the inside of the E-Way. Again, this is an amazing battery that can be indoor and outdoor, but we added a little bit extra to make the install easier. Inside comes a built-in 750 amp bus bar, which will allow much more ease of the installation if you are paralleling more units together. And then it also has the emergency stop switch on the side. The COM board is already built inside of it too. And then it also has conduit knockouts. The conduit knockouts is located on the left side, the right side, the back side, and on top, because conduit can come from any direction on a site these days. So our product will allow you to be able to adapt and install this to any system with ease these days. Now, the top part of this right here, as you can see, there is a plate on top of the E-Way. It can actually pop off with screws. You can take it off, and then on our inverter, there is a plate as well on the bottom that you can take off, and then you can actually sit the inverter directly on top of the battery, and then you can bring down the wire connection from the inverter battery directly into it. Why is this important? Why is it unique? Well, one, it's a sleek, easy looking design. Two, it's actually an easier install to be able to just sit the inverter on top of the battery. connect the conduit wiring together, and you don't need nearly as much wiring to connect it. So it makes it, again, for ease of installation. We care about the feedback of installers, and installers always express that whatever makes our lives easier to actually plug and play a system, less labor time, therefore more profitability to your pockets, makes lives better, which is why we designed it this way. Now, when it comes to scaling the eBoost, it's actually quite easy to do, and there's multiple configurations. You can sit them from side to side to each other, and you would just connect the wiring from one E-way to the other. So in the center would be one, and then you can do one on each side as well. It makes it just that much easier. If you're doing much more larger systems, you can do it with more multiple inverters as well, which we'll get into here shortly. But that is the emphasis and importance of the eBoost. Now, some selling points for you to express to homeowners, which homeowners typically always care about: how many cycles and what is the warranty on this product. The warranty with Fortress on our products, 10 years. And then cycles is 8,000 cycles. If a homeowner was to run a cycle per day, that's, I don't know, I think it's 21, 22 years worth until the max state of charge depreciation goes down a little bit, but it has long-lasting capability. Now, the warranty can also be expanded up to 30 years, which I will explain at the end of this presentation, but the warranty can be expanded more. Now for the inverters. The big emphasis of the inverters today is going to be the NV Duo 21G inverter. This is a hybrid inverter, 48 volt, and it can be used for residential and commercial applications. But in order for it to be used for commercial applications, there must be 3 of these inverters. But we will not get into that much more. This is much more emphasis on the residential. So what comes built inside this inverter? 1, it comes with a built-in 200 amp pass-through. It can do a 16 kilowatt AC with the PV and or grid, and then 12 kilowatt for battery only. You can scale up to 10 of these inverters in parallel if the application of the job requires more output or more backup. Inside here, there is 3 independent MPPTs. Now, a part of those MPPTs, there's a total of 5 inputs for your PV array, which will allow you to have 25 kilowatt of solar and a max 21 kilowatt of PV output. This is massive because this will allow you to use one inverter if the PV array is large. It also has a built-in RSD AP smart transmitter and push button. Why do we do this? Because you do typically, most of the time on a residential site, need an RSD, and we just don't want you guys to have to pay for more hardware and plug it in, so it's just easier for us to manufacture it by default. If you prefer Tigo over AP, you can do that. You will have to swap it out yourself. We have been using AP as default. Now, the voltages this inverter can do is 12240 single phase, and it can do 3-phase. It can be AC and or DC coupled. Now, if it is to be AC coupled, the AC coupling is typically done in the gen port because this does have a generator port designed into it. And all these breakers already come built inside of this inverter. This inverter is indoor and outdoor rated as well, so it can be installed at any location and can be easily placed with any battery. Now, with the inverter, lastly, the knockouts. There's knockouts on the back side, as we can see in this image. There's one on the right side, on the left side, and then on the bottom. So again, ease of install for the wiring is pretty flexible with this inverter. The commissioning of this inverter can be done on it in person, or you can commission it remotely too, which we'll get to shortly. If that inverter is too large for your system or your project, we do have a smaller one called the NV8 kilowatt inverter. Same thing, it can do the generator port. It is AC-DC coupled, It also includes the built-in RSD transmitter. And this one has 2 MPPTs for the solar. Same software, same hardware, just smaller, depending if the site is so small that the MV Duo 21G is too large. Lastly, the last inverter that we at Fortress manufacture here is called the Solo 6.5. This inverter is specifically designed for anything that is not requiring an export to the grid. So it'll do anything but export to the grid. Again, I want to emphasize that because if you go to a site and the site wants it to export back to the grid, this inverter will not do it. It can be built into a site that's attached to the grid, it just won't do grid export. Now, why is this product needed? Well, one, a lot of systems that are off grid or grid tied, they need something small. They just want simplicity of a backup, regardless if it's a small cabin, a couple of lights, or just a water pump for agricultural purposes. This will be perfect. So this one is a 10 kilowatt PV input, 2 MPPTs. It is 6.5 kilowatt continuous power, 9.6 kilowatt max gen or grid charge. You can scale up to 6 of these units. This product warranty is 5 years, not 10 years. It also has its own DC, AC, and disconnect breakers built into it. And the app for this one is SolarMan. But again, we offer this many inverters to allow you as the contractor to be able to adapt to any site that you come across your way and use the product for it. So those are the inverters. When it comes to the apps and commissioning, the latest app we have is called the Fortress Power Pro mobile app. This one is amazing. It was just launched at the start of this year. We already have testing done on it as well, and it's already deployed in the field with multiple sites. You can actually commission a system under 10 minutes with this too. And for a hybrid BESS system, that is quite amazing. Now, it can be guided commissioning workflow, meaning it's going to be easy for you to follow through. You don't need to do much training for it, although we still do require that you train to how to use this app. And then for the installer, the Pro app on the App Store and the Google Play Store is going to be for you as the contractor. The Fortress Power Pro mobile app is not for the homeowner. The homeowner's app is literally going to be the Fortress Power owner app. This one's for the homeowners. Main difference is this app will not allow the homeowner to go into their sophisticated settings of the system and make changes, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to mess it up. So to prohibit that, we made this one for them. This is how you get them set up for the alerts and notifications and energy reports if you need that. But again, this one is for the homeowner. The Pro is for the installer. Here are some actual installs of the eBoost. So we have a Puerto Rico site. We have a Texas site. This one is in Alaska. So as you can see, indoor and outdoor, easy to install, and very simplistic and easy to scale. And then for the other batteries, this was the eForce as well, and some of the larger systems that we have installed out there. Now, that is the residential products I'm going to emphasize. Next is, what do we at Fortress provide to you as the installer or the contractor to help your life easier when sizing out the system? One, we have made something called the Fortress Power System Recommendation Tool. If you want a tool provided by us, the manufacturer, to help you size out a system with the homeowner on the spot, you can. This is on our website. It is free access. You can actually get into depth on sizing it out to the very details of the loads. What do they want backed up? How long do they want it backed up? Or for peak time usage, like what do they want to shave off the bill, and with what parts of the house do they want to be using for that for? You have access to that. Next is the wiring validator tool. If you want to be ensured that you have the wiring correctly, you can use this tool as well. It is free of access. That way you do not have to wait for our tech support to get back to you. You can do it easily on our own website, and you can get it done very quickly. Again, we as a company want to provide the tools to make the life of the installer easier, and this is why we invested our time and I would say resources to make this done, so your life as the contractor is better to do. Okay. Now, we do get questions about our open ecosystem. Let's say you come across a lot of existing systems that may just have their own inverter PV and they just want to add more. So Fortress Power, we do have our UL 9540 certification. So this will allow the flexibility to pair a range of other inverter solutions to our batteries. Now, of course, it is always safe to check with your local or your assigned Fortress Power rep to ensure it is, but it is on our website too, of our certified battery inverter compatibility guide. So always make sure that it is on there. If it does not appear to be on that list, but it in theory should be working, just reach out to us. We can confirm it for you. So that is the residential. We are now going to get into the commercial, because in this day and age where residential seems to be just slightly slowing down, commercial is drastically picking up and skyrocketing. So in the market that I oversee and that I see in the whole states, commercials, it has a large variety. What we have noticed is that there's not that many megawatt sized projects out there. There's actually a lot of them that are anywhere from 100 kilowatt to 5,000 kilowatt. People call these systems the breadcrumbs. I think that's actually a cool term, because in these breadcrumb projects, there's a lot of profitability to you as the contractor. And it's just a matter of finding it. Who wants these systems? A lot of the markets that want it is warehouses. It's going to be restaurants, supermarkets, facilities, community solar, and schools. Schools is a big one lately. So we have made products to satisfy all of these applications and sites for it. So we're going to get into it. So when it comes to commercial, there are three components. Just like residential, you have the inverter, you need the battery, and you need the EMS, so energy management system. We at Fortress manufacture all three. All three of it is ours. It is a complete package. So, and the reason why you want the complete package and to have to only go to one manufacturer is it's a one-stop shop. To have to go to multiple companies, manufacturing companies, to piece together one battery energy system can be a nightmare. For sizing it, tech support, on-site support, it's a nightmare. So we do everything in-house. And for example of, if your question is there actual opportunity? Yes. So a side example such as California, there's a lot of opportunities in the education sector, city government, libraries. So whatever state that you live in right now, it is actually not that hard to go and find those online, see what kind of entities are looking for these projects, because they are out there. You just need to find them. So to get into the products, the one I'm going to emphasize most is the eSpire Nano, because a lot of these, I would say, projects can range anywhere from a 30 kilowatt system and scale up to 1,000. And with our recent product, the eSpire Nano, it can accomplish all of it. So the eSpire Nano, this is an indoor and outdoor system, the battery. You can have it do 208 or 480 volt for the storage. You can do it for small, mid-sized commercial sites. The commissioning is actually really fast, and it can help your client have a long-term return on investment. So let's break it down. First, let's get into the software. There are two software packages with the eSpire Nano. One, you have the standard, and then you have the Pro. What's the difference, and when do you need the Pro? Think of this way. So all our eSpire Nano systems will come with a standard by default. So if you just need to use up to 6 user charge or discharge schedules, if it's a very simple peak shaving application or if it's a simple backup application, that is when the standard package will come into play. If, again, emphasis, it is a simple job that it needs to do, if it has a simple utility rate structure or just needs to do simple backup, the standard package is perfect. The Nano Pro, if the site wants to have a good return on investment, I would say reporting, if it has a very complicated utility rate structure, or if it is acting as a microgrid, or if you need 15, let's just say, predictive peak shaving on like sophisticated time of use and the most advanced settings, and you want us to help you with the settings, the Pro package will be the software to do. So when you are sizing out the Nano, it is important when you connect with us at Fortress, what is the application, what is the voltage, and what are we trying to accomplish? And then we will help you decide if the Pro is critical or if you're okay with the standard. Now the hardware. We have the indoor and outdoor products. The first one is the outdoor. So we have two inverter sizes. We have a 30 and a 60 kilowatt inverter. The 30 kilowatt inverter can do 208, 480, and the 60 kilowatt inverter can only do 480. So if you had a site where you needed 30 kilowatt of an inverter size, but it was 208, you would do two of those 30 kilowatt inverters. For the batteries, for the outdoor, you have a 40 and a 60, and the same for the indoor. The indoor is an advanced server rack with the batteries. Now the outdoor system first. The outdoor system already comes to you as the contractor built and assembled. And for the inverter, you can mount the inverter on the battery or you can put it on the wall, depending on how you need to do the installation. The outdoor system does have its own built-in HVAC system. It has its own built-in fire safety system, which I know in a lot of jurisdictions and a lot of states, fire code, they require anything and everything. And we have all our certifications for that. And it also has its own built-in UPS. And again, I already emphasized the inverter can be mounted on directly if needed. The warranty and cycles, again, 10 years, 8,000 cycle warranty. And then the indoor rack, it's as simple as the server rack and then putting the batteries on top of it, or I should say, laying the batteries on the server rack. When it comes to the inverter, we always recommend inverter to be placed outside, and we have noticed that most utilities require the inverter to be outside as well. So that is the Nano. Again, what makes Nano so different from the competition? One, you're only going to one company, which is Fortress Power. It is our hardware. It is our software. Everything is our own. The tech support is done by us. We truly care about our contractors. Are we perfect at response when people call in for tech support? We try our very best. If my whole team is busy on calls, we'll get back as soon as we can. If a voicemail is left or if a ticket is left, but we'll get to that shortly. But we do take care of our people. So for the commissioning, it can be done under 10 minutes. Other commercial sites with other products takes hours, if not weeks sometimes, and that costs you, the contractor, money. Number two, how many voltages can it do? 208, 480, it can do 240, 220. For those two specific sites, for the 240, we ask that you connect with us so we know exactly what you're using it for. Other competitors cannot do this many voltages. When it comes to the PV integration, this already comes with its own built-in module level rapid shutdown to where you may have to outsource that with other manufacturers. And you can retrofit an existing AC coupled system to this. We have our own software which can do the smart control across the whole fleet. Our software also allows you to create the ROI to present to the client. And when it comes to creating a proposition portfolio of a return on investment, when you're trying to pitch our product, we'll actually help create that for you. We won't let you do it on yourself. We'll definitely assist you. Now, Again, the Nano is perfect for any of these applications that we talked about, anything small or large. As the installer, it already comes to you built, especially if it's outside, and it can accomplish all the jobs you need. And you're only going to one company, you're not going to others. That is the Nano. The next commercial product we're going to get into here, not much in detail, but if you're looking for massive systems, it is going to be our eSpire 290. This one is full fiat compliant. Now it comes in three components. You have inverter, battery, and then the BMS tower. And this one is liquid cooled, so it can do advanced thermal management for longer life and better performance on it. In order for us to create these, we ask that people fill out our commercial intake form, and we will actually size out the system of this for you so that we have something to propose to the end user. And then when it comes to something smaller, which is going to be coming out, although it says here late Q4, realistically it's going to be Q1 of January. This is the eSpire Nano. It should say eSpire 211. This is a smaller cabinet, can be easily installed, similar to the Nano, but the benefit with this one is that this one can qualify for the 40% ITC. Now, lastly, if you have a project of any size of commercial starting out on our website, you can go to the form. It's under the commercial tab drop down. It says checklist for C&I. Fill that out. That gets sent to us here at Fortress and we can size it out. We'll work with Fortune Energy on the size of it and then the pricing, which we can then present to you. Now, next, a little bit about Fortress, more about as a holistic approach as a company and what else we do. We are on many VPP programs here in the country. We are in VP programs on the Pacific East Coast and on the Northeast Coast. We are in the Midwest. And if there are any current VPP programs in the state in which you install with and you want us to be part of, please contact us and tell us who it is, who's the VPP, and then we can actually see if we can integrate them. Customer support. I really want to emphasize this one to everybody here on the webinar because you need to have confidence. Well, I know this for a fact. You guys always want to have the confidence that it's not just the product that's going to work, but it's the company's going to have your back if you get into a pinch. So our tech support team members come from engineering backgrounds or come from an actual installation background. They're not reading from a script. They actually are handling the equipment themselves. Our response and resolution, we do under 24 hours of initial response to all tickets and voicemails. That's why I tell everybody, if my tech support was not able to answer your call, please leave a voicemail, please submit a ticket. I know it seems a little mundane to maybe add in detail in the ticket, but it's the best way for us to have visibility of your problem and to solve it quickly and efficiently. Most of these systems we can solve within the first try. So we have a 70% attempt that we can actually fix it on the site. If they're more sophisticated, we actually do take a little bit more time to actually investigate the problem and to solve it. But the way that you can connect with my tech support is phone, voicemail, ticket-based system. And then if it is critical, reach out to your local regional rep and we can escalate it if it's, let's say, if it's high importance. Now, to that point, the extra service that my tech support does for my residential and my commercial products. If you have a site coming up and it's your first one, please submit a support ticket requesting one of my reps to call you on site to help you with your commissioning and that they're available. But in order for this to be accomplished, you do have to submit that with details, and please give us 2 weeks heads time so we can schedule it in. Now, the way that we handle RMAs, if that ever does happen, we do not make your life miserable when it comes to an RMA. We get it. The site needs power. The homeowner needs power. You want to get paid on the job. Make sure that you connect with our tech support. We do not make you pay for the shipping on an RMA. We don't make you jump through hoops. We get you the product out there to get you satisfied. Training. We do have training on our website. Please take that into serious consideration when you start using Fortress Power, because we create these training videos so that way you actually don't even need to call us on site for your first install. You know exactly what you're doing. Warranty. So again, the warranty with us is 10 years by default, 15-year warranty with the eForce battery if it's paired with our full system. In this day and age, homeowners, they just like, the more assurance they get, the better likelihood that they're going to close on the spot. So the warranties on our products can be increased to 30 years through our partners at Solar Insure, and it is phenomenal. If you guys have questions, please reach out to Solar Insure on how that works, but it can be extended and increased. So for those who are new to Fortress Power, I encourage you and call that you go to our website, sign up on our dealer application on the installer tab, and then schedule a one-on-one with your local rep, and then we can get you going on your first project, sizing it out, and ensure that you get your pricing from your Fortune Energy distributor, and then you can get your first Fortress installed. If there is any other questions, you can go to our website. Feel free to let us know, and we're happy to help. So that is the end of the presentation here. I'm now going to have Anthony come in and see if there's any questions in the chat that I can answer and address.
There was one question which Tony Hamilton asked about high leg delta, and I did answer that privately, but yes, the Nano is compatible with high leg delta, 120 240 volt 3P4W, but backup power is not available currently, but is coming.
Currently. So just to emphasize that to everybody listening again, high leg delta, we can do it, but it will not do backup power. It will eventually. I do not have a timeline on that. So again, if you have a site that is doing that and it does not need backup power, it will accomplish it.
Yeah, Jake, that was the only question we had in the chat.
Hey, I must have done a good job if that's the only question. That's amazing. I'm not sure if anybody here at Fortune Energy has their mic working, but if you guys had any last notes or words that you wanted to emphasize, let me know. Okay, I think we're good. Again, everybody on this, thank you for attending. Thank you for reaching out and actually watching this and learning information. If you do have questions, please reach out to your Fortune Energy distributor. Reach out to us here at Fortress. We're more than happy to do it. What I really would like to know, if anybody has a project that you believe this has an application to, please call me and Fortune Energy today and this week, and then we will immediately get right on the ball and sizing it out for you. So don't hesitate. Thank you so much and have a fantastic week.